Hello, beautiful people. I'm going to do a little story time today and tell you all about how I met my amazing husband. We will celebrate our 10th wedding anniversary in May, and we have two beautiful children. And God was definitely orchestrating our whole meeting, and I will tell you all about it as I walk through our story. But first, for those who are new here and don't know me, I'm Legina, also known as Coach LJ. I am a certified intimacy coach, and I help Christian wives to embrace and express their desires without shame and guilt for fulfilling marital intimacy inside and outside the bedroom. So now let's hop into this story. Like I said, God was definitely in the midst of our meeting, and we both believe that, we both agree, and God's timing is everything. So let's jump back to October of 2021 is when we met. So we met at a mutual friend's wedding. I know this friend from high school. He knows this friend from college, and we all go to church together. I know you're probably saying, if you all go to church together, how come you didn't meet? Well, we all go to a rather large church with several services. I think at that time they had 3 or 4, probably 4 services at that time. So, it was not uncommon that if you always came to the AM service and someone else came to like the later 1 o'clock service, your paths may never cross. And that's what happened with us. We hadn't met. So we both went to this wedding. It was a Friday evening wedding. So we, Friday evening wedding means you leave work a little bit early, you go home, you get ready, get dressed, and go to the wedding. So which is what I did. I went to the wedding directly from going home, getting dressed, kind of, getting cute for this wedding, just to support my homegirl in her union with her husband. So I get to the church and I walk inside and I look around, of course, is there anybody I know, anyone here look familiar? I didn't see anyone, so I went and took an aisle seat. And I took an aisle seat because I'm short and I want to be able to see, and I can always pee around to make sure I can see all the ceremony. So I sat down waiting for the ceremony to start. Maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes goes by, and a guy comes up and says, anyone sitting there? Anyone sit next to you? And I said, no. So I kind of, move my legs to let him into the pew. We sit down, and he sits like right next to me. I thought he would slide down a little more, but he sat right next to me. And I thought, oh, well, okay, no worries. He can sit next to me. And he started to kind of have small talk. And for those who know me and those who will get to know me, I like talking. I like people. I love interacting with people and talking to people. So it wasn't an issue or concern for me when he started talking. I'm like, oh, he wants to talk and be chatty. Great, let's talk. And he started cracking jokes, and I'm like, even better. And he's funny. So we're having small talk, waiting for the ceremony to start. And the ceremony starts. And so during the course of it, he has his camera. He passed me his camera so I can lean and get the good picture because I'm sitting on the aisle. The ceremony goes on. It's a beautiful ceremony. She's married. It's the end of the ceremony. It's time to leave. And so I think most people think, oh, okay, you met there, but you'll probably get to talk at the reception. No, not the case. We both were not going to the reception. We were just there for the ceremony. So after the ceremony, they had a cake reception in the lobby. So we walked out to go get our cake, and to head wherever we were going after the ceremony. So we walk out and we run into a person from our church, and he knew her and I know her. So it's so interesting that there are other people, we found out later, quite a few people that we both knew. However, he and I had never met. So we started chatting with this person from the church. He's talking to her, I'm talking to her. And then he says, hey, by the way, did you eat yet? I know we came from work here. I'm hungry. Would you like to get something to eat? And I'm thinking, I don't know this man. I'm not going to eat with him. And the other person that was sitting there says, oh, I'm hungry. I'll go eat. So I immediately looked at him and I said, if she's hungry, you should probably take her. I see someone else I know, and I'm like, oh, hey, so-and-so. And I make a beeline to my other friend, and I get out there quick. I'm like, gotta go. So I go to my friend that I saw, and I'm like thinking to myself, oh, she saved me. And I talked to her for a few minutes, and then I run. I don't say run, but I swiftly went to my car because I'm like, oh, that was kind of awkward. That was kind of weird. I don't know what's going on here. Let me just go home. So I get in my car. I go home. I think nothing of it. Well, wouldn't you know it, that Sunday, I see him in the lobby at church. I have not seen him, and then we run into each other in the lobby. And I think I might have been leaving service and he was coming in, so we did not attend the same service. So I saw him. I said hi. I actually gave him a hug, because why not? I mean, he was a nice guy. I enjoyed chatting with him. And then that was it. He left and I left. And I'm like, huh, okay, that's interesting, but all right, cool. So apparently, after the wedding, he got in contact with the bride to tell her this story because he thought the whole situation was comical. He thought it was funny. He thought it was funny that I had politely turned him down, number one. And number two, he also thought it was funny that I was kind of, pushing him to go with this other person to eat. And she said she wanted to eat. And I'm like, you should go with her. Go, go, go. So he called the bride to tell her this story. The bride had gotten to know me fairly well from not just high school. In high school, we didn't interact as much, but we had gotten to know each other better in church through some church activities. He knew her from college, and, they had got closer, after he joined the church as well. And so when he's telling her the story and laughing about it, she stops and is like, huh, I think you two would be a really good match. And so he's like, really? And so, he said, okay, we'll set it up. And she said, I will. So she calls me. This is probably a couple weeks after the wedding and said, hey, I talked to my homeboy. He told me what happened. Ha, ha, ha. But I really think you two would be a good match. Like, I know you both. I think you two would be a good match. And I'm thinking, and then she asked me, like, why'd you turn him down? I was like, look, at this point in life, I need a character reference. Okay. I don't have time to waste. And so if I don't know him, know someone that knows him, me personally, that's why I said no. But when she said he was a great guy, she vouched for him and said that we would get along great. I thought, okay, why not? I'll go out with him. And I have someone who I trusted her opinion. So she gave him my number. He called me. And we talked for hours. I mean, we hit it off immediately. We talked the next 2 days, and then he officially asked me out on a date. And we went to the Cheesecake Factory. So I know that's not on people's list for first dates, but let me tell you, look, don't sleep on Cheesecake Factory. We had an excellent date, shut the place down, and talked all night. It was a great time. But I think one of the other interesting things to note that when he asked me out, he asked to come pick me up at my house. And let me tell you, one of my rules has always been nobody can meet me at my house or pick me up on a first date. I have to meet you somewhere because I don't know you, I don't trust you. It needs to be safe. But there was just something about him that I actually let him pick me up at my house on the first date. So that tells you that there was this comfortability level that I had never felt with anyone before. So we went out on that date and we pretty much were inseparable ever since. Like, he is such a great person and God's timing is so amazing, the way he orchestrated that and put us together. So I'm so grateful and so thankful. Hope you enjoyed my story. So yeah, I mean, like, where did you meet your spouse? Do you have an interesting story? I would love to hear it. All right, let me know.